Yo, what's up, boys and girls? Your boy Swolelax here, and I'm back at it again with another video with something a little different. Today, you might be asking yourself, Swolelax, what's with the T? Well, if I sound a little bit weird in this video, it's because I think I'm getting sick. Heck yeah, Swolelax, you've always been so sick. No, but I mean, like I actually feel like I'm getting, like, sick, like, ill. So, dude, yeah, I know what you're talking about, man. You're sick. The joke is over. But in all seriousness, we are going to be continuing the Buster Blader series, and that's going to be talking about the Buster Dragon. Now, when I talk about Buster Dragons, I don't mean Buster Dragon itself, which is the synchro monster, the companion to the Buster Blader archetype. Instead, I want to talk about these little adorable puppies and also rank them from best to worst, or rather from worst to best. And yes, they are all good boys in their own right, but there is a hierarchy to this. Some that you should play, some that you won't play, and some that you 100% will have 3 of inside of your deck. I'm going to be presenting these cards in no particular order. I'm going to be reading these cards first, and then we're going to be ranking them in order of worst to best. So without further ado, let's just jump into it. The first card on our list is Buster Whelp of the Destruction Swordsman. Buster Whelp of the Destruction Swordsman is a light level 1 Dragon Tuner effect monster that reads, when this card is normal summoned, you can add 1 Destruction Sword card from your deck to your hand, except Buster Whelp the Destruction Swordsman. You can only use one of the following effects of Buster Whelp the Destruction Swordsman per turn, and only once that turn. You contribute this card, special summon 1 Buster Blader from your hand or graveyard. If this card is in your graveyard and you control a Buster Blader, you can discard 1 Destruction Sword card, special summon this card. Now, Buster Whelp is actually pretty good. This card offers decent search options to the Buster Blader deck, in addition to that having its special summon effect of the Buster Blader from hand. Now, the unfortunate part is you have to have the Buster Blader in hand already, but the fact that this card can search out its fusion card plus its other trap cards is really good. The next card we're talking about is Wizard Buster Destruction Sword. Wizard Buster Destruction Sword is a dark level 3 spellcaster effect monster that says you can target 1 Buster Blader you control. Equip this monster from your hand or side of the field to that target. While this card is equipped to that monster, monsters in your opponent's graveyard cannot activate their effects. You can send this equip card to the graveyard, then target 1 Destruction Sword monster in your graveyard, except Wizard Buster Destruction Sword, and add it to your hand. Now, similar to Buster Whelp, Wizard Buster is actually pretty good. I feel like I'm going to say that for most of these cards. But in all seriousness, locking down your opponent's graveyard is something that's actually pretty good even today in 2018. Add that on top of the fact that there's some modulation with this card being that you can send it to the graveyard and get another one of your Destruction Sword cards, potentially a Buster Whelp, and Wizard's alright with me. The next card and part of the Dragon Buster lock is the Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. Dragon Buster Destruction Sword is a dark level 1 Dragon Tuner effect monster that reads, you can target 1 Buster Blader you control. Equip this card from your hand or side of the field to that target. While this card is equipped to that monster, your opponent cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck. While this card is equipped to a monster, you can special summon this equipped card. You can only use the effect of Buster Dragon Sword once per turn. So locking your opponent out of your extra deck is always nutty. Now, of course, you're playing this inside of Buster Bladers, so do be aware that you have to have that Buster Blader on the field already. But if you can successfully get this off in addition to maybe doing something like Wizard, then you are effectively shutting off 2 of the most valuable resources to your opponent. In addition to these cards operate somewhat like Union monsters, given that they can also activate different effects whether they are equipped or not. And moving on, finally, we have Robot Buster Destruction Sword. Robot Buster Destruction Sword is a dark level 4 machine effect monster. This card says you can target 1 Buster Blader you control. Equip this card from your hand or side of the field to that target. While this card is equipped to a monster, spells and trap cards that are already face up on your opponent's side of the field cannot activate their effects. You can send this equipped card to the graveyard. The monster that was equipped to this card gains 1,000 attack until the end of this turn. So with that being said, let's go ahead and rank these cards because I feel like this one's the worst. Don't get me wrong, the ability to lock down your opponent's spells and trap cards is always nice. However, if it was set spells and traps, that would be a different story. The ability to stop things like Trickstar Light Stage is actually pretty neat, but not too many people are playing continuous spells and traps anymore. Sure, there are field spells, Dragonic Diagram, Trickstar Light Stage, as we mentioned previously, cards like Skill Drain, Anti-Spell Fragrance, cards like Imperial Order, cards that don't necessarily have activated effects, and by the time you were able to get this card when your opponent activates a card that has an activated effect that's already face up, it might already be too late. Now, that 1,000 attack boosting thing is okay. However, in the last video and also in this video, I'm going to argue again that the battle phase really isn't that big of a deal anymore. With that being said, we're going to be ranking Robot the Destruction Sword the lowest out of the Buster Dragons. Now, the next 2 are actually salt of preference taste. That's right, we have Wizard and Dragon. I would have to say this order goes Wizard, then Dragon. Wizard's good, don't get me wrong, being able to shut down your opponent's graveyard effect. That's like the OTK running around right now, Sky Strikers, even Gokis. This card's actually pretty good. But the fact that Dragon can lock down the extra deck doesn't even have to specify what extra deck monster it is, so it can go to Lynx, fusions, XYZs, synchros, this card takes the cake at number 2. And the only reason I'm not putting it at first is because it is fairly limited in terms of what it can do. It is a one-trick pony. Yes, that one trick it does is extremely good and is probably going to be a key player inside of Buster Bladers going forward. But for the number 1 slot, I'm going to have to give it to Buster Whelp. You guys already know this, process of elimination, all that jazz. But Buster Whelp's searching effect is probably the reason why it's number 1. It's a definite 3 inside the deck alone for the fact that you can search out all your protection cards, all your fusion cards. The fact that you can also search any of the other Buster Dragon dogs to further your plays is incredible. And the fact that you can special summon Buster Blader to get these plays going in the first place is super important. So this is how I would rate the Buster Dragons. We have Buster Whelp on top, next we have Dragon, then we have Wizard, and finally we have Robot, the worst of the cards. You guys may have seen this coming a mile away if you know anything about Buster Bladers, but for those who don't, this is how I would rank the Buster Dragons. And again, we're not talking about Buster Dragon, the Synchro Monster, but these beautiful little boys right here. But I don't know, maybe that's just me. What do you guys think? Do you guys like this list? Do you guys agree with this list? Do you guys have problems with this list? Let me know inside the comment section down below, and what other Buster Dragon cards could you add to this deck to make it even better? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you guys like this video, make sure to leave a like if you want to see more. Please subscribe. Got more videos coming in the pipeline, so stay tuned to that if you want to. I apologize for the tea. I apologize for being sick, but I will see you guys next time. Peace.